So Anju, what do you think? What do you think about the function so far?
It's been incredible and still more to come. We are loving it. It's like so much momentum, so much growth, so many people that have moved on this last year, even though there was so much that happened, and it's just a testimony to how incredible this business is.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to you today about flicker, flame, and fire. I mean, you might guess that's the different levels of commitment. It's how involved we are with our own dreams and our goals and in this business. So we're going to role play a little bit, right? Let's say Kumar and Anjali. Okay, we are brand new, and you just launched us in the business. Okay, maybe you contacted us a month ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, right? So we don't know you for that long, but we did sign up. You did take us through the process, whichever version of the process you have. You educated us about the business, and you gave us options. You asked us what we want to do. Do we want to just be customers, or do we want to have a small selling business or a big selling business, or do we want to build a network as well? Okay, so we chose, like we would, to build a network, to create some more choices in our life. Okay, so that is the premise. But let's look at it. If we rewind by 4 weeks, we haven't met you yet. You haven't contacted us. Maybe you contacted us on LinkedIn, right? Or one of the social media apps online. You contacted us, and you did it very nicely, very professionally, right? That's the reason we signed up. Of course, we signed up. It's the best network marketing company there is. It's an impeccable track record, and we love the products. We did some research on it, and then when we got the kit, we were really excited because the products, they carry their own reputation. But there is another reason we signed up. What is that, Anjali?
Because we liked you. There's something about you that we liked.
There's something nice, it's called a flicker. Something happened, like a flicker of hope, like a flicker of friendship, a budding friendship. Something happened, because no matter how great the business is, if you didn't treat us right, okay, we wouldn't sign up. And people join you as much as they join Amway, right? Yeah. So that little flicker. Now, we start with that flicker, but it's up to you to protect it and see if you can make it into a flame. You really cannot make us do anything, but you can create the environment. We saw some value add by the way you connected. That's why we signed up. Yeah. But you got to keep that value add going. Every time we meet, that's why you have the core run. That's why you maybe had us go through some core run steps and some educational steps. You're encouraging us to come to weekly meetings. You've loaned us some talks that we should listen to. You've encouraged us to, you've told us about all the options that we have. You've educated us about the products.
Yes, given us some samples, and encouraged us to go on the website and go through the tutorials and see the demos, and
we are excited about developing our first few customers. Yeah. Okay, and you've done all of that, but and there's been a lockdown, right? There's been all this COVID situation going on, and maybe we haven't met in person yet. But think about it, right? We didn't know you 4 weeks ago. We haven't met in person yet. Maybe we met once, maybe social distancing a couple of times, or maybe we are in two completely different cities. Now, for me, for us, we have known you for 4 weeks, but we have known other people for many, many years. We know our relatives and our friends for many, many years. Many of them all of them are hopefully well-wishers, okay? And everybody means well. Many of them are supporters. They will become customers. Some of them will launch as partners, but some of them may not really know how you brought us into the business. They may have had some other different experience with network marketing. Maybe their cousin got involved in network marketing, and somebody pushed some products on them, So, but we have a longer relationship with them than we have with you. So, in a sense, that your relationship is in competition with all the friendships we've had for all these years, right? So once we understand that, we have to work on building a friendship with you, just like you're working on building a friendship with us. And we don't want to argue with anybody. We don't want to disrupt any existing relationships we have. But we want to strengthen our relationship with you because why? We saw a flicker of hope, right? We saw an option for ourselves, and we see that every time we interact with you, we are getting value. And it is easy for us to choose to build a relationship with you. Why? Because you are tied into this incredible team of, great, a diverse group of people from all kinds of professions, and people who are not sitting around watching Netflix. They are doing something even during lockdown. They are part of a business that's grown, and they're energetic. They are purpose driven. So when we see all of that, when we get into a Zoom call even, we are excited about, meeting you in person. We are excited about the fact that this is adding value in our lives, right?
Again, it is something that we don't even understand so much, but we feel it. And as someone who's just launched in the business, it's our responsibility to seek the information that you're willing to share.
Absolutely. So it becomes, yes, you're reaching out to us, but we also should understand that we have to reach out to you, because relationships are built that way, right? If our relationship turns into trust, and also we see success, we get our retail customers, we are launching a couple of people, all that combination of that is what the atmosphere is required to make that flicker into a flame. And that flame, and if for the purposes of tonight's talk, flame is just a flame. It's not a raging fire. It's just the flame, like a candle, a flame on a candle, which is still fragile. Okay. And it's up to us, by getting more information and being more involved, surrounding ourselves with the right information, to convert that flame into a raging fire. Okay. That is when really our business takes off. And that is what really, whether we realize it or not, that's what's happening with people that make a commitment. The next thing, Anjali, I want to talk about is, the concept of being in business and the concept of investing, right? Let's say you make $100 profit. What would you do with it? What should they do with it? A new person, they get launched, they do some retail, they make $100 profit. They can do whatever they want with it. But typically, what do people do? What would we do?
Typically, the right thing would be to seek more information and to see how you can multiply that money quicker and invest it into learning more and educating yourself and learning more about the products, learning more about how to build this business long term, and
Exactly. So two things. One is in products. You have to reinvest in products for sure. But you see, in any business, okay, products are important, but people are always more important. We say that, people move products, products don't move people. So we have to invest in people. And before we invest in people, we have to invest in ourselves. Because we cannot give what we don't have. Okay? So we invest in products, obviously, but we choose. It's a choice, right? See, we come from a culture, most of us, at least I'm assuming people who are viewing, from a middle class culture. My parents, they worked hard just to come from a village to a big city in India, right? So did your parents. And they were very encouraging. They gave us a great environment, but we never heard any talks about them investing in themselves, at least in terms of mindset. They did not talk to us about that. We didn't traditionally in school. They don't talk about investing in your mind. You invest in yourself through other subjects, but not about success, right? So that is a alien concept for most people. Investing in ourselves, and that the way we do that is through the optional BSM tools from Brit Worldwide. The approved provider Brit Worldwide exists, so people have the tools to build a strong and successful Amway business, optionally, of course. But we would take use of that. We would make use of that. A simple common sense example would be, let's say we have a lot of questions. Let's say Kumar and Anjali have a lot of questions. You launched us, we have a lot of questions, and all kinds of questions. A neighbor came and told me, asked me why I'm involved in this business because his cousin had a bad experience or something like that in a network marketing business. Then somebody else is asking me, how does the Sky system work? Somebody else is asking me, how do you talk to, or I'm asking, how do I talk to people? How do I improve my self-esteem? I have all these questions. Question, how do you answer it, right? Yeah. If you answered our questions in a 4-hour session and you exhaust all the answers, fantastic, right? We will be very impressed with you. Okay? We'll be excited, impressed. But after the call, you know what Anjali is going to say to me? What do you say to me?
It sounds great, but I don't have 4 hours to sit and answer all these questions.
She says she can't do it. And if she says she can't do it, game over. Network marketing, if you don't do things that are duplicatable, game is over, right? So really, what should you do? Okay, well, you have the option. Okay, you should keep your conversations short, but there is a bunch of tools. Okay, you should loan us stocks. I mean, this is the way we have typically done it. People have big questions, things that take a long time. We just say, you know what, great question. We give them a brief answer, but we loan them a couple of talks and say, listen to it, because those talks are done thoroughly. Okay, and they can get the answers, at their leisure. So we are not sitting and talking to them for hours. Does that make sense? It makes sense, right? So that way, it's a 20-minute conversation instead of a 5-hour conversation. And at the end of it, Anjali says, you know what, this we can do. Say, because you loan the talks to us, and you also do one more thing. You say, come to the next meeting. So the goal of a meeting is what?
To get more information and to get to the next event. To close it to the next meeting.
Right. If a person will not make it to the next event, then any amount of talking is kind of a waste of time. Any event it can be an open meeting, it can be a product meeting, it can be a new IBO orientation, anything it is. Okay, the continuity is of it. That's what we did. We promoted the products, we sold the products. Okay, but people who wanted to build a business, we always made sure they were in a continuing education program, right? And we loaned them talks generously. So if you loaned us talks, then this is something we know VT can do. But here's the catch though. For you to loan us the right talks,
you need to know what to loan us.
You need to know what's in those talks. So that is why we have the extreme program. We have extreme basic all the way to the pro, right? Okay. And this is for people to immerse themselves in an educational experience to the extent they want it. I was very good at that, guys. As a single guy with an IT consulting business, before we got married, I was like a chicken with its head cut off. I was running all over the place. Okay. My IT business, working and taking clients to dinner and building this business, I was extremely busy. So I got very good at loaning the right talks to the right people. If I met a doctor would, justifiably, they would say to me, Kumar, you don't have my schedule. How can you show me a business and tell me that I can also do it? Well, then I need to loan him a doctor's talk. Okay. So I used that option that was available to me and always invited people to the next function. Anjali, you want to speak for a bit?
So, for us personally, we were always and have always been more interested in what we are getting accomplished and what we are getting done rather than what we have already done in the past. And I think it takes a mindset of just being in the hunt of just, setting big goals for yourself and having the willingness to reach out and accomplish those goals, right? So, a little bit about us, coming back to a full circle, he was in computers, he was a computer consultant with a IT business. I was in the travel industry working as a travel agent. And, it's just been an incredible journey the last couple of decades that we've been in this business. We have 3 beautiful daughters and, we've raised our family in this business. Now, when we think back of all the things that have happened and, we've done, we're extremely proud of the things that we've accomplished, but at the same time, it has been a desire to just, stay steady with all the things that life throws at you. Yes, we were newlyweds at some point and we were starting a family at some point. We had parents that were getting older, and we still take care of our parents that are older. But, that's life, things get thrown at you from all directions. So the thing is that what are you willing to do and how many reasons are you willing to make to just keep going on and getting things done that you want to get done in life?
So the other thing is, if we are a new couple, you should be reassuring us and we should be in an environment where we feel welcome, obviously. And you've obviously done a good job of that. You all do in Brit Worldwide. In your Zoom calls, right? You're so welcoming and you pour your hearts out. You really do pour your hearts out. And we can see that. We can look beyond what just, people should be able to perceive more than what they can just see. Look around. I can see professionals. I can see different backgrounds. I can see single women. I can see single men. I can see housewives. Every ethnicity, every culture, every nationality building the business. And that's a very enriching experience for me because I've not seen that anywhere else. That kind of unity. I can see the ability to plug into my upline's goals. Okay. Plus, you are teaching me that failure is okay. It's okay to fail. In fact, it is imperative to fail and to make mistakes. We cannot succeed without that. Okay. The only way to succeed is to make some mistakes. So you have taught me all that. Hopefully you're continuing to teach me. And every meeting I go to, I feel value added. But I'm also non-judgmental. I'm not demanding answers. See, there are two kinds of people. People who ask questions because really they're inquiring. They want the information. And some others, they just want to, prod you and see how far you go and try and irritate you. Well, the second type we should not engage with. Don't need to fight with them. We just don't engage with them. People who are asking questions. So if we are genuinely asking questions, you would answer us, but on your terms. You'd say, come to the next meeting. Here are a couple of talks, even if you know all the answers, because you don't want to sit and talk to us for hours. Not that you're evasive, but you're educating us in a manner that we can digest it. Does that make sense? Okay. So that is one of the things. So and also you're teaching us about confidence. I want to give you a message here, let me not be the new IBO for some time. Let me be the triple diamond. Okay. Is that confidence is assumed, guys. It's there. It's hanging right in front of you. Thin air, just pull it up, it becomes yours. I had confidence for sure when I was single, especially. I was pretty clueless. I remember doing a glass, using the metal cleaner on glass, thinking that it's going to clean the glass. I was using the wrong product. So here I am using the metal cleaner instead of the glass cleaner, and the glass is getting worse. It's getting foggier and foggier. And I was single. I didn't know what I was doing. All this was Ramesh and Rama's upline's home. Okay. Who again, Ramesh and Rama's upline had a flicker for some time. It became a flame, but then it did not turn into a raging fire for Diamond Ship. They backed off. The flame went off. Okay, but Ramesh and Rama came in. Their flicker became a flame, and from a flame it became a raging fire. They went diamond. Okay, and then through that we have so many other people. We have Prakash and Smita Hegde, okay, who were not even in Philadelphia at that time. Ramesh and Rama are from Philly, and that became a fire. And we have so many such stories, But in their home, I was doing this demo, and nothing worked. I said, you know what? I put everything back in the bag. I didn't realize I was using the wrong product. I zipped everything up and I said, look, I am a silver. If I can go silver by messing up like this, you can too. And I left. But I did give them, we didn't have streaming audio, but I'd given them cassette tapes. I was always good at giving the right tapes so that while I was going crazy, at least some sane people were talking to them on those cassette tapes, right? And so let's come back to flicker, flame, and fire. Okay, let's talk about us as upline now. We are not the new people anymore. We are talking to some of the new people. Okay, what are we looking at? For us, from zero, from the time we do a DTM with you, okay, approach you for the business, all the way till you go platinum. Not till you launch, not till you go 1,000, all the way till you go platinum. This is what we are gauging every time we interact with you. Okay. First thing, we of course we checked out in the beginning of the process. We were gauging if you were hash, which is humble, appreciative, smart, and hungry. Whether you have a spark in your eyes, for your future. Just because you had it in the beginning does not mean you might. A lot of people have that flicker, and before it becomes a flame, it snuffs out. Okay. So what we do, what we are looking for is, do you still have that hash attitude? Second thing is our relationship with you increasing, decreasing, or is it stagnant? And that is, of course, that's a two-way thing. Okay. We gauge that. And we don't judge you. We don't judge people. If they don't want to build a relationship, that's fine. We just look for someone else, right? Whether it is customers or whether it is IBOs, you need relationships. You should start thinking about being salesmen. We should think about adding value. Honestly, right now, with our products, with our zinc, with immunity, and so many other products that we have, with vitamin C and our Neutralite and all, and our air treatments, there's so much there is so much demand for it, We are just adding value. We are having conversations with so many people around in the neighborhood, and we have increased our customer volume. And we really need to do that. Verified customer sales, Brit Worldwide is going to be leading that. It's 70% VCS for all of us, right? And there's so many advantages to that. There is your PVBV uplift and so many advantages to the customers and so many things they have as perks and incentives, and then we have CSI. There is so many things. Sit down with your upline to understand what is the significance of verified customer sales. So that is just a point beside, but we are looking for whether you're still hash, whether you still have a spark. Second, is our relationship with you increasing, decreasing, or staying stagnant? Third, who's influencing your decisions? Not that we want to interfere in your life. So far as this business is concerned, the problem is if you're still listening to everybody else, then all the time that we invested is going waste. Yes? Okay. So we want to be cognizant of, whether we have a game, if we are going to be a coach, there has to be a basic premise that we are both playing the same game and you don't have 10 other coaches, right? And the last thing, it's very simple. So are you hash? What's our relationship like? Who's influencing your decision? The last thing is, will you make it to the next meeting? It is that simple. Why? Because people are pouring their hearts out. There are leaders speaking. We are showing success. We are creating that environment for that flicker to become a flame. Yeah. Right? So really quickly, I want to talk to you about some of our groups. Okay? We just had, we met Ajay and Alka Ori for dinner yesterday. Alka is Anjali's sister. She still doesn't want to come in front of the camera after all the ordeal that she's been through. But Ajay Ori was flickering in the beginning, right? Alka was a fire.
Not even
a flame. She was a fire. Okay, so Ajay was flickering in the beginning, but he had no choice. If you're flickering right next to a fire, you're going to catch fire anyway. But they turned out to be such great, fantastic leaders. They went diamond. They have Bis and Sadhika Sandalia on their team, and a whole. I mean, the energy and the momentum on the team is absolutely amazing right now. Okay, so in that case, of course, there was. If you look at Ajay, he went through a lot of people. Ajay and Alka in the beginning when they got finally involved in the business. I think he talked to 150 people before they launched one. Yeah. Okay, even they got a few customers out of that for sure. Okay, and then if you look at Sanjeev and Shona Sahai and Dudnath, Sanjeev and Shona, Sanjeev was on fire for sure. I am telling you, I don't know how he can be not on fire. Okay, so I'm just talking about the successes. I'm not talking about all the plans in between, all the MG1s we did in between that did not work out. But you go through numbers, you find people, and one person is not enough. You find people in depth also. With Sanjeev and Shona Sahai, there was Kamta and Nadia. I'm just giving one example of one leg, and Dave and Kim Dudnath. So that is a leg that came in because this process of driving depth. See, sometimes what happens is you launch someone, and that person, like we always say, the person you're looking at may not be the person you're looking for. What do I mean by that? See, in today's scenario, I could launch somebody. I'll give you a simple example. Okay, applying to Kankan and Samina Bhattacharya. Okay, there's this couple called Mr. and Mrs. R. We'll just call them Mrs. and Mr. R. Mr. and Mrs. R. They had a flicker. They were both highly educated, both had PhD, and somehow that I was able to get them in the environment so that flicker became a flame. Okay, and yes, in today's environment, if they launch today, yes, we work very hard to get them some customers, get them started properly, and then launch a couple of people for them, which is what happened, in our own way those days. And I sponsored someone else for them. So, okay, they also became some sort of a flickering flame, okay? And then I went 3 deep. So there is Mr. and Mrs. R, there's somebody else, and then there is somebody else, okay? Nobody is really becoming a steady flame. They're sort of flickering. I went all the way 9 deep. I want everybody to retail. I want everybody to make money. But if people don't, what are you going to do? Right? So I'm all the way going 9 deep looking for somebody that will stay on in the business. Well, everybody started, the flame goes out, a lot of people started quitting, but then the top person, Mr. and Mrs. R, before they also kind of took a backseat, they sponsored this couple, Ram and Shailaja, who sponsored this couple, Kankan and Samina. Both were raging fires, and Kankan and Samina, of course, they kept the fire on. And then through that, you have the Gupta Khare Ajmani team, the unbelievable Ajmani team, and Sajji and Sushma and Yusuf and Ali Maka. Then you have Vishal and Sonika Jain and Nanda Sangeeta Singari, Parmesh and Bharti Nalwal in that leg. Then you have the great Nick and Steph Nowoki's team, on this side. So, I mean, but before Kankan and Samina showed up in the picture, I went through so many people that I really wanted to help. And I'm saying because we weren't married at that time. Okay, but maybe you can talk about this Chandramata organization, Anjali.
Oh my goodness, we have so many great memories and great things that are happening and great stuff that is happening in all the legs that we have. With the Chandramata team right now, Pat and Leena, dear friends. who are just moving on to diamond, and we're just so proud of them. And they have founders. They have founders emeralds.
Would you say Pat was a flame in the beginning, steady, right?
Lena is fire.
Lena came and but I didn't know that he was a fire. I thought he was just a flame, Pat, right? He was calm and cool, but the way we knew it is wherever we drove to Connecticut a million times, and Pat was always with us. Lena was in India at the time, but she came back, and they were not afraid of paying the price.
I know.
Yeah. And now look at that. Through that we have Srini and Kavita Hergu, just one of their organizations. Then we have through that in Emerald qualification, and we are just picking that leg because Balaji and Priya are in Emerald qualification. That is so special, But you go through these people, flicker, flame, fire, flicker, and then you get a fire, right? Which is really amazing. And that is the process, guys. So we want everybody that we directly sponsor to do all the things. Amway has got all kinds of tools for people to become profitable, but sometimes they just don't want to, right? Okay, Punj organization, Suresh and Padma Punj were the first ones we registered. They were on fire right away. Actually they were flickering in the beginning because I didn't really show them the plan the right way. So they were flickering, they really were avoiding me because I was messing up in the beginning. But they gave me enough chance to do it right. And then they get into the business, and they led us to a couple that was a flame for a long time. But then they got into some problems. They made some bad mistakes in their lives, and I don't want to get into it. And they got into some issues. Now. And then through that came Ojar and Sheila Ramsamoj, who are really rocking and rolling right now. They got this new leg that has started, through Wondrick and Karen, who were a flame right from the beginning. Okay, their children, CJ and Andrea, are building the business now in a big way. And then downline from there, okay, from Ojar again, the other leg is through Saji and Pavi and so many other people that we knew. Come Swapnil and Umar Raut, Founders Emerald, and Jitu and Neelam Gowda, who are in the hunt for diamond shape. They are in Founders Emerald qualification right now. And Nitin and Shalaka Aute, who are in Emerald qualification right now, right? Which is really, really amazing. So we're talking about this is a fantastic exercise. It's an adventure of not just helping people make money, but of finding leaders. Okay, it is phenomenal. Okay, and we see that leaders want to get educated. They want to maximize the use of not only the Amway business opportunity, but also the Brit Worldwide AP system, like coming to functions and listening to audios and so on and so forth. And so that is that's an organization that we can't start. There is so much growth, we can hardly start mentioning any more names here. Limited time, but Narayanan leg and Nayak leg, Hari and Jayanti Narayanan Emeralds in Boston. Okay, and through that comes Deostali in Austin, Texas. Can you imagine? I think Prabhat and Chubangi were in Boston before, and they moved all the way to Texas, and there they found Sharad and Meena Nayak. See, I want to expand your thinking, guys. If you're brand new, you don't know where your business is going to take you. You have no idea where you're going to sow the seed and where you're going to reap. You don't know. Okay, but these great things happen, and I know that with the magical team, Manish and Priya Sharma. Now here, I wasn't the one hunting for someone. Okay, I didn't prospect Manish Sharma. Manish was looking for me when he landed in this country. Manish and Priya. Manish comes and contacts me. He pursues me and he wants to see the business gets launched. It's not like they were an overnight success, right, Anjali? Remember, months together.
Hard and consistent and dedicated, and set goals again and again and again to just accomplish them.
And then they went diamond last year in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Come on.
No
they set a goal and they didn't back off.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know how to tell you that you got to keep extremely focused. Okay, these are all fantastic leaders. We have in North America, of all our legs that we have, just now we have 7 legs that are emerald and above, and 5 of them have reached the diamond level. Okay, but it is just the beginning, because you should have been there when we went through the numbers to find the people, right? So just remember this, guys. We keep a great attitude. We are not in the business of convincing people. We are in the business of finding the right people. Okay, whether even customers, there shouldn't be any convincing. See, network marketing exists because our products have a story and people have a story. That's why network marketing exists. We are able to go share a story with people which you can't get at any other retailer. You can go buy vitamins in your grocery store, but you don't know the story behind it. You don't get testimonials. We get people calls and people see this and people just buy when you present it the right way. Okay? And which is really, really amazing. Finally, I just want to tell you guys, pins and pulses. What can be measured can be grown. I mean, we have exams and tests in school because they need to measure progress. If they measure progress, then they can grow it, right? What can be measured can be grown. So what do we measure on a month-to-month basis? First thing is pins, the volume. What is your personal volume? How much retail volume do you do? How much is your verified customer sales? Every single month that has to increase little by little. I know, nobody gets in. Most people are doing something else and they're not professional salesmen when they get into this business. But it is not about that. It's about adding value to people's lives, like I said. So if you're doing 50 this month of retail, you should do 100 next month. And you should start increasing. Your goal is to do 3 to 500 PV, 300 PV in verified customer sales, for example. Okay, you want to get there. But in addition to that, if you're building a network, what we also measure is who's getting educated. Because we have those open meetings every week, right? Zoom meetings where you're doing your open, you get your person. I want to make sure that my numbers are increasing in those events. That's what we monitor. It's all voluntary, but we keep an eye on it. We keep an eye on how many people are subscribing to all the offerings that Bit Worldwide has. Okay, I just keep an eye on it because volume is what pays you. That's where you get paid. But this unifies, this kind of gives me an idea of who's listening to the same stuff that I'm listening to, right? And then most important thing also is I keep an eye on webinar attendance, but I want to see who voluntarily shows up because people are pouring their hearts out like we are right now. Okay, whether I have 5 people or 10 people or 50 people getting educated, the webinar is still the same. So to leverage my time, anytime there's an education, anytime I puts up a webinar, I want to make sure our attendance is there, that people are learning, right? Okay, because that is what, when people learn, they don't have to make the mistakes that we made. Anjali, any closing thoughts?
No, we just want you to aim high, stay steady, stay focused. In our experience, the only person who doesn't succeed is the one who doesn't set goals. Everyone else, it's a success whether you've accomplished it now or you're going to get it done. That's the way we think and we believe. And if there's anything we can ever do for you, we are right here. We wish you all the very best.
I want to thank the office, Bit Worldwide office, and her whole staff there working relentlessly, and everybody that worked on the schedule, on everything that had to happen for all of this to fall into place. Yeah. And of course, this is just, we are amply blessed, guys. So love you.
Love you guys.
While